Hello, everyone. I'm just coming live to do some updates on the Vanessa Guillin's case. There's been some updates in the news, so I wanted to bring that up, and I also wanted to talk about Gregory Morales too, because my heart breaks for his family and what they're going through. Hello, Miss Behaven. How are you today? I hope you're having a good Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Right? Yes, it's Tuesday. No, it's Monday. I guess I'm jumping the week. It's Monday. Hey, Tally girl. How are you guys today? I guess it's Monday, not Tuesday. So, I'm going to wait a few minutes, let people kind of stroll in, and if we don't get anybody, oh, thank you, Miss Behaven. Hey, Mojo. If I'll give it a few minutes and we'll start the program. I hope you guys are all having a good Monday. Not a Tuesday, it's a Monday. I was just in Carla's. I feel bad for her. YouTube has gotten crazy, but I don't want to veer off of what my subject is tonight. That's for another live. Oh, I'm tired today. I even took a nap, and I'm tired. All right. That was nuts. It was crazy. Yes, the missing soldier girl, Mojo. There's been some updates, and I told you guys when there was updates, I would let you know. And there's been a couple of updates. I also want to touch on Gregory Morales because there's some updates on that. That is just kind of heartbreaking for the family. My heart breaks for them. Hi, Christy. Wow, it's 12:30 a.m. here, nice and sunny where you are. Actually, it is sunny, but not very. It's only 7 o'clock at night here. So the sun's, 7:30. So the sun's starting to go down. But it actually rained all day. We had thunderstorms yesterday. We had thunderstorms today. And who doesn't love a good thunderstorm? I know I do. I love sitting on the porch and just listening. Something about rain and thunder that's very calming. Sorry, I have an itch on my foot. Okay, so let's get into it. So there is 2 updates on Vanessa case. Then there is something I want to talk about, hey, Puss in Boots, about the Gregory Morales case. And then today while I was doing research on Vanessa, I came across a couple of other things that have happened in Fort Hood. And I'm really happy that Vanessa's lawyer and what's her name, Sylvia, are doing things to have Fort Hood investigated. Because Fort Hood definitely needs to be investigated, I think. I think there's some stuff that is going on that has been swept under the rug for a very long time, and I think it needs to be brought to light. So we'll touch on that a little. So the 2 updates on Vanessa. 2 days ago, the news reported that unidentified remains have been found near the area where Gregory Morales remains were discovered. They're not saying yet that they are Vanessa's, but it says witnesses reported finding unidentified remains in a field in Killeen, Texas on Saturday evening, according to police. At 1:33 p.m., officers were called for an area check after people say they spotted remains while in the area. The KWTX said the discovery was found within walking distance of the site where investigators found soldier Gregory Weldon Morales' remains on June 19th. Yes, very sad. I have my fingers, no matter. So basically, they have it in going into the coroner because they don't know if it says basically, they don't know yet if it's actually human remains or animal remains. So they're trying not to freak everybody out. It said Guillin was last seen back in April. However, officials have not yet said if any of these cases were connected. Detectives with the homicide unit have removed the remains and sent them to Southwestern Institution of Forensic Science in Dallas for further review. So we are waiting. Was Gregory the first soldier missing? Yes, Tally Girl. That was the soldier that's been missing for a year. He was the one that was going to graduate or be discharged from the Army within a couple of days before. Hey, Carrie Chatterbox, welcome. He was going to be discharged from the Army from doing 6 years in the Army. He was only days away from sealing his deal and going on with his life, and he ended up being missing. So they classified him as AWOL, and then they classified him as a deserter, and we will get to that because the family is actually having a hard time with certain things on Gregory's case due to him being listed as a deserter. So we'll get to that. So the second update on, let's see. So the attorney for the family of Vanessa calls on Congress to launch an investigation against Fort Hood. I think that is a great thing. I think it's something that needs to be done, and I'm really glad this lawyer is being a voice to not only Vanessa, but to everybody. I think Fort Hood absolutely needs to be investigated. The other part of an update on Vanessa is items found in a river could be linked to missing Fort Hood soldier. Carrie, I'm slowly recovering. Oh, okay. So, days after searching a local river, Texas EquiSearch continues their efforts Wednesday in search for missing Fort Hood Private Vanessa Guillin 20, and they may have been productive. I think we have found some things, and they're doing some testing on some things. If it has anything to do with it or not, I don't know. We are all pretty optimistic on it. We won't know for sure until results come back from the lab. And yes, there is a reason we have been in every place we have been. So everywhere they have searched, there is a reason. Please get rid of that. Oh, yes. I don't have any mods in here, do I? Thank you for that, Misbehaving. I was looking down reading. I didn't see it. And I think, oh, you got it, Puss. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I would have got rid of it quicker if I noticed. But thank you, Misbehaving. They cannot give an eye lurker. They cannot give all the information right now. Just like the remains they found, hi Galloway. The remains they found, they can't say whether they're going to do testing on that, and we'll know whether the remains are Vanessa's or not. I'm sure we're going to get those answers in the next day or two. They found the remains 2 days ago. Usually it doesn't take too long, so I'm thinking within tomorrow, the next day, we should know for sure. So EquiSearch spent the day Wednesday searching a neighborhood near 439 and Spartacus Road in Bell County. but found nothing new, Miller said, adding, "Yes, there's a reason we have been every place we have been." They also passed out flyers to homeowners. They've used horses, ATVs, they've used drones, airplanes, sonar, and foot searches. Miller and Texas EquuSearch have been assisting local authorities in actively searching for Guillin. On Tuesday, on Tuesday they had a press conference in front of Fort Hood. They have confirmed that they think that Vanessa is been subject to foul play. Also, her reward has gone from $2,500 to $25,000 to $50,000. Actually, some of it came from, let me look at my notes because I was able to break it down. I know Sylvia put $2,500 and the other one was, they put $5,000. Hold on, let me look at my notes. Baby Bash? I guess that's an old, a lot of people know what Baby Bash is. I don't, but they put $5,000 down for towards the reward, which is awesome. But I've never heard of Baby Bash. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a store or if it's an organization. I'm not quite sure. I guess that's something I can look into. So the other thing, so those are basically the two updates that we have on Vanessa. One, they found human remains 2 days ago. And two, they found items in a river. They're not saying whether they're linked to Vanessa, but they aren't saying it isn't linked to Vanessa. They're saying there's a reason why they're there. It is obviously they're getting good tips from somebody to go where they're going. Baby Bash, the singer, he had a couple of hits years ago. I don't know, Just For You. All it said, thank you, Mojo. Sorry, don't mean to distract you guys. I just hate it in my face, so I keep moving it. Usually I have it up. But I don't know who Baby Bash is, but kudos to Baby Bash for donating $5,000. So now her reward is up to $50,000, which is amazing. And her lawyer has gone to Congress and has declared that they do an investigation into Fort Hood, which I honestly think they need to do and should have done when the first soldier went missing, in my opinion. Speaking of the first soldier that went missing, Gregory Hood, my heart breaks for his family right now. Because Gregory is still considered a deserter, they are doing nothing to help this family. He is in Dallas right now, and she wanted the military to ship him to where he needs to be laid to rest. And because he's listed as a deserter, they will not do it. She has to pay for him to get shipped from Dallas to where she to his hometown. She is fighting this deserter case. The mother of Gregory Morales is pushing for change in the deserter status of her son. Gregory Morales' remains were found in Guillin on June 19th. Now, mind you, if nobody remembers, he was found on Fort Hood base. There was another soldier that they had declared missing, and they had found him. He ended up getting into a car accident on Fort Hood. He ended up flipping his Mustang. He ended up in a wooded area, and he died. Nobody knew he was out there. Nobody knew he was out there. So whether he died on impact, nobody knows. But why they were searching into the car flipping in him, they found Gregory Morales's remains right next to, like a mile in from him. Now, 2 days later, now they found another set of human remains a mile from Gregory Morales. So now there's 3 bodies in the same area. Now, mind you, Fort Hood owns 214,000 acres. They have 6,500 soldiers on their base. So that's a lot of land to cover. And to have that much land and to have 3 bodies located within feet from each other is awful. So it's been 5 days since Gregory Morales's remains were found in a shallow grave in Guillin, according to his brother. It's been 10 months since he disappeared from Fort Hood. After going missing, he was listed as an AWOL. Later on, he was labeled as a deserter. According to the Army's list, it appears he is still listed as one. This is something his mother, Kim Weldon, is looking to change. My issue is he is a soldier. He died a soldier, and he deserves to be treated like one. Totally agree. He did not desert the Army. Like we said, he was ready to be discharged. He gave 6 years of his life to this Army, and they are literally fighting her tooth and nail to get him lifted from a deserter. I will tell you what the problem is as we go on. Not thrown away and forgotten. Weldon says she is trying to figure out funeral arrangements. She said she got a call from Fort Hood that said Gregory was still in Dallas and would be transferred back to Temple. Since he was considered non-military at this point, that we would have to make arrangements to pick him up or whatever we needed to do to transport him up here. She said she has reached out to her casual officer out of Fort Sill. According to Weldon, she was told they are planning to clear Gregory's name. Then she got a call back that clarified that until the autopsy results come back showing Gregory had been dead for 10 months, they are going to put his date of death as last Friday. So what that means is basically they want proof that he was dead for 10 months. If the autopsy results come back and say that he was only, let's say he was dead for only a month, because we all know all that was left was bones. I mean, he was completely decomposed. He's been there a while. So if the autopsy can confirm that he has been dead for the whole 10 months that he was been missing, they will lift his deserter and he will get military honors. He will get a military funeral. They'll help, she'll be able to get the benefits. They will help transport him. But if the autopsy comes back that he was dead less than 10 months, they are not lifting the deserter. So who's to say that Gregory Morales was not kidnapped? Let's just put it out there, this is speculation. But let's say Gregory Morales was kidnapped because when he went missing, he had just bought a brand new car. His girlfriend did Carfax and found his car in Dallas. Now, the investigators have his car now. They have not released where she found it or who had it when she found it, but she was able to trace the car to Dallas. Now, mind you, he went missing in Texas. So, well, obviously in Gilligan. So Dallas to Gilligan, whatever miles that is. But anyways, so let's say speculation that somebody kidnapped him and they kept him hostage for 3 months, even a month, even 60 days, doesn't matter. If it's not the full 10 months, say they did not kill him for 3 months, he will not be lifted off of that deserter list. She will get no military anything. They will keep him as a deserter. So the only way they're going to lift this deserter tag on him is that he has to be, the autopsy has to prove he's been dead the whole time he's been missing. If she ran the Carfax, she had the VIN, which only the sale of the vehicle would show up on Carfax. Correct, Remy. And that is how she found it. But who sold it and everything, they're keeping hush hush. That's what I mean. It was sold. She did find it. It's been turned into the investigators. They do have his car, but they're not really saying who sold the car, how they were able to sell the car, any of that. Because I know here, you have to sign a title. If you don't have the title sold, and especially it was a brand new car, so he was doing car payments on it, how this person was able to sell this car when he literally, the car lot still owns it, I don't know how they did it. But they're not releasing any of that information. So it depends on the results. Exactly, Mojo. Because the military is pretty much fighting her tooth and nail to have him lift as a deserter. Which I think is sad, because I never thought he deserted. I never thought he went AWOL. From the first time I read his story, I never thought that, because nobody that's done 6 years in the military is days away from being discharged from the military would go missing. That would just run away from the military. There's no way. I never believed that. I will never believe that. But I just hope for his family that the results come back the way they want. I think they should fight it regardless, even if it doesn't come back that he's been dead for 10 months, because nobody knows if he was kidnapped. Nobody knows what happened to him. All that happened is they know that it was foul play, and his bones were found in Fort Hood in a field. So something really suspicious. I think that if it comes back that he hasn't been dead for 10 months and they're not lifting that deserter, I think she should fight it. And I'm sure she will. She seems pretty determined. And I know she's got a lot of people behind her. I know she started a petition a while ago. I actually will get the link to the petition, also Vanessa's family. So actually, today, as I was doing research, I found a couple more cases that have happened with the soldiers in Fort Hood that is pretty disturbing. And they link back from 2019. And this is why I think it's very important that people go in and investigate Fort Hood. Because in my opinion, I think there's some dirty stuff going on in Fort Hood. Do I respect the military? I do. I have family that's been in the military. I respect the military. I don't think all the military is bad. I think something's going on in Fort Hood, though. I hope that makes sense. But let me read you a couple of things that I found today. Let me go to this one. So this Fort Hood soldier, his name, let me get to it. This Fort Hood soldier is Jonathan Bradford. He was charged on January 7th of 2019. He was arraigned for sexual assault on a female child. So basically, what he was doing is he was sleeping with a 14-year-old girl. And this 14-year-old girl ended up becoming pregnant. And he tried to kill the unborn child. And he got arrested for it. And he was placed in jail. He got 25 years. Now, this story, this one really got my goat. Let me see. Let me find it. No, not that one. Hold on, guys. Sorry. So this one is a different one. This one is Private Dylan Mcclure. He was 19 years old from Fort Hood, Texas. He was a soldier and was in Bell County Jail as of Sunday night, facing charges that he committed a rape and videotaped the victim during the assault. According to the release, Private Dylan has been charged with sexual assault and unlawful disclosure of intimidating material. So what he was doing is he raped this other soldier and videotaped it. And then he was using that videotape to bribe her. Like if she told, he was going to show the videotape. If she ever went and said anything, he would show the videotape. Well, she was brave enough to actually go and press the charges, and now he is in jail. He's on a $100,000 bond. Now there's another case which for some reason it's gone, and I don't know why, which really makes me mad. Because this, I wish I could find it. Let me write it in again. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. For some reason, it went away. I don't know why. Four Hood soldiers, 14 in total, are arrested in a prostitution sting. So, 14 people were arrested after a 2-day sex trafficking, pimp, and prostitution sting that was conducted by the Temple Police on March 13th and 14th. 12 traffickers were arrested for agreeing to engage in sexual acts for a fee. 6 of the 12 traffickers are active duty enlisted soldiers at Fort Hood. The ringleader, now this is the thing, the mastermind of this sex ring, prostitution ring, was actually the commanding officer who was in charge of the sexual assault investigation program inside Fort Hood. So this guy is, during the day, acting like he is doing his job and helping people that have sexual complaints, kind of like Vanessa. You know, she was being harassed, and her superior was walking in on her when she was taking a shower. She had other superiors talking to her vulgarly in Spanish. She never She never reported it, but she reported it to her friends, her family, and some officers inside Fort Hood. But now, because of the family, starting June 19th, they opened a case against her sexual harassment claim due to her family. So that is amazing. Even though she is missing, they are still conducting the case because she had told so many people. I lived on Fort Hood in an area for over 25 years. Trafficking is bad in that area. Really, I've never been to Texas. It's crazy. I lived down there for over a year. None of this kind of stuff came up. No, because the military tries to keep everything hush hush. That is one of the things that they really do because, they can, to be honest. A lot of these charges and a lot of these things that happen, the sexual assault, if you're out in the real world and you have a sexual harassment case on you, you're getting in trouble, whether you're doing jail time, whether you're on probation, whether you're getting a fine, whatever, registering as a sex offender, it doesn't matter. The list goes on when you're here. But when you are a soldier, they don't consider sexual harassment as big as it is as out in the real world. It's pretty much just a slap on the wrist. It really is. Everything that I've read, they pretty much tap you on the hand and say, don't ever do it again. So a lot of things get pushed under the rug. A lot of things are put in secret. And like I said, I don't want to say anything bad about the military because there is, they're fighting for our country. They're fighting for our freedom. And I respect them for that. And there is good soldiers out there. There is people that abide by the rules, abide by what they swear into, but there is just as much as like out here, there's normal people and then there's crazy people. And there are just some bad eggs that are soldiers. It's just the way it is. But I by no means mean all soldiers are like that because that is not true. There's loads of good soldiers, but these are exactly, Mojo. Exactly. There is wonderful soldiers, that risk their lives to keep us safe and free and, and fight for our country. But then there is some bad eggs. But I think the problem is these bad eggs, you see them being bad eggs, but they're just giving them slaps on the wrist, sweeping it under the rug. And then they do something big and it's a big scandal because, now you've outed out all these people that have swept it under the rug for so long. But I definitely think something, in my opinion, I think there is something definitely going on in Fort Hood. I just do. You have soldiers coming up missing, sexual harassment cases happening. There's sex rings, there's people out there raping and videotaping, and like something is going on. There must be a superior hushing. Yes, absolutely. I think so. It's not all the soldiers on Fort Hood. I made great friends there. Some still there, some not. I call them family. We are all like, what the fuck are about this? I totally agree. I think there's a lot of probably Fort Hood soldiers that are doing the right thing that are absolutely freaking out, wondering what is going on? What are we not seeing? What are we missing? Who is hiding things? I mean, I'm sorry, these bodies are just showing up on Fort Hood property for no apparent, they don't just appear. Something, in my opinion, I think there is something going on and something's being covered. I got to stop my camera for a second, but I'm still here, guys. I'm going to grab something that you're not allowed to do on camera anymore. And I don't want my channel to get struck or my video taken down, so I'm gonna shut off my camera and do what I'm not allowed to do on camera anymore. You are right, Jenna. I'm gonna just read some comments that I might have missed while I was talking and looking down. I apologize for that, but I wanted to get it out. Let's see. Baby Bash doggy name sounds like a baby shower. It does sound like a baby shower. Is this all in the same base? Mojo, it is all on the same base. It's all, everything that I read tonight comes out of Fort Hood. Everything. The Gregory Morales, the Vanessa, the 19-year-old that had the sex tape, the other soldier that was having sex with a 14-year-old, the 14 people that were in a prostitution sting. They all were soldiers coming out of Fort Hood, or were soldiers in Fort Hood, yes. It is awful for the parents. It is awful that they do that. I am from Killing. Sorry, it's a very high crime rate. Sounds like a serial killer. Might be. I mean, I'm not discrediting anything right now, other than, you know, I definitely think something's going on. Wait, if he was buried, how the hell did he bury himself? Very good question, Jana. He wouldn't have been able to bury himself. Very good question. And like I said, my heart breaks for Gregory Morales' mom because, you know, she wants her son lived and died for the military. He was proud to be a soldier. He was proud to give the 6 years that he gave. You know, his time was up. He was done. He was ready to move on. But how sad will it be if what they're basically saying, if his autopsy comes back that he was not dead for 10 months, they are giving him nothing military, no military burial, no military funding, nothing. And he gave 6 years for his, you know, for the military that he loved. Surely, being just bones, the examiner will surely determine it's more than a month. I believe so. But that's the key thing, Mojo, is they're basically saying it has to come back 10 months. If it comes back less than 10 months, they're going to have him listed still as a deserter. And that is what his mother is trying to fight for. She thinks that the rules of the deserter needs to be changed. And that is what her petition is for, is to have the deserter rules changed a little and critiqued a little, and don't act so quickly, because this is the thing. They were acting very quickly, where this boy who got in the car accident, Gregory Morales, it almost happened to Vanessa, but her family was very diligent and wouldn't let that. But as soon as you don't show up for your training at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. and you're gone for less than 24 hours and they call your family and your family says, we haven't seen them, we haven't heard, they instantly put them as AWOL. And then after 30 days, if they don't return after 30 days, they list them as a deserter. At no point do they do a missing persons, though. So I think there needs to be a different step where it doesn't instantly go to AWOL, because you don't know if they're technically AWOL. So why not put, especially if the family is saying this is not like them, like Gregory Morales, he gave the military 6 years. He was 3 days away from graduating. Why would they instantly list him as an AWOL? Now, me, I know if I was the soldier in charge of his case, or I would have looked at that a little bit more, because I'm sorry, most soldiers don't decide to go AWOL days before leaving. I was watching a show about sex trafficking on Netflix, and all of a sudden, people I know from Houston were on there. Oh no, Amy. How unjust. I hope they really get a good examiner. I hope so too. It's not all the soldiers on Fort Hood. I read that. So, yeah, so that's what I've gotten so far. Like I said, as more comes out, I will definitely be going live. I've been following this case and I'm trying to give you guys everything as I see it, as I get it. I have great people that are messaging me things if I happen to miss it. So I really appreciate those people that, send me something if I happen to miss it. But I will definitely bring it to you. Let's pray. I mean, these bones do not come back, Vanessa, in that, because like her family said, missing means there's still a chance. Finding remains means there's no more hope. And that's got to be horrible for her family. But no matter if it's Vanessa's remains or somebody else's remains, it's going to destroy a family. So either way, I don't think this is going to be a good outcome, but I do pray that it's not Vanessa and it still gives her family hope that she might still be out there and she still might be okay and she still might come home to them. But if the remains are not hers, that's going to open a whole new can, because whose remains are they? And why are they so close to other remains? Like I said, there was Gregory's, there was the car accident, and now new remains, all within a couple of feet away from each other. What bones are you speaking of? The ones off of Florence Road? I believe it was Florence Road, Lurker. I don't want to quote it wrong. I'm almost positive that was it. Hold on, let me just double check. Unidentified remains found near where the Texas soldiers' remains were discovered. The unidentified remains in a field in Killigan, Texas on Saturday evening. Officers were called for an area check after people say they spotted the remains while in the area. Said the discovery was found within walking distance of the site where investigators found Gregory Morales' remains on June 19th. The information comes from a search crew continuing to look for missing Fort Hood soldier Vanessa. She was last seen back in April. However, officials have not said if any of these cases were connected. Detectives with Homicide Unit have removed the remains and sent them to the Southwest Institution of Forensic Science in Dallas for further review. It actually does not say off of what road. It just says that it was found in the field next to where Gregory Morales's remains were found. I think that is a road. Well, let's see if Gregory Morales's says where his remains were found, because they're saying they're right next to where he was found. The remains of one of the two missing Fort Hood soldiers have been identified. It just says, police said skeleton remains were found Friday in a field several miles from Fort Hood after a tip to the Army Criminal Investigation Army officials confirmed the identity on Saturday. So it still doesn't say a road even on his. So it is the same area? Okay. So yes, they were found really close together. And Gregory's was found due to a tip, and these remains were found due to a tip.
Are you still alive?
Yes, but I'm off camera so you can come out. Sorry, family was like, are you still live? They know that they don't want to be on camera, so I'm kind of glad the camera was off. If it is different bones, I think it is something strange going on. I absolutely, it's definitely something strange is going on. Yes. And it is different remains. That's for sure. They're saying that these remains were found very close to where Gregory's remains were found. Puss in Boots, that's totally understandable. It's probably horrible to deal with. What did I miss? Oh, from her having people still in Fort Hood. I can only imagine. I'm sure these soldiers are all uptight and worried and scared. I can only imagine. I would be. People are turning up missing, and then their bodies are being found. I would be freaking out.
No.
But like I said, I just wanted to come live and be able to give you guys the updates. Their families too, absolutely. For sure, because people live on those bases with their family. I can only imagine. But I just wanted to bring you guys the update. I'm going to end this live. Thank you guys for all coming in. Thank you for supporting me. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you could hit the likes, I appreciate the likes. You're welcome, Mojo. I probably will be going live maybe in the morning. Maybe I'll just do a chit chat live. We haven't done a chit chat live in a while, and I like to kind of spice it up a little. So watch for me tomorrow. I'll go live and we can chit chat. But I hope you guys all have a fabulous rest of your Monday and a fabulous rest of your week. Again, thank you guys for coming in. And as soon as I get updates on these remains, I will make sure I go live and fill you guys all in. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Bye.